Welcome. In today's video, I will be walking you through some security basics or server hardening. You could use this to just secure your computer, server, network, etc. I'll be going over how to enable and disable the firewall, uh, how to allow an app through the firewall, and how to navigate the control panel to reach the firewall window. I will also be going over how to update your system, how to update from Windows 10 to 11, and how to perform regular software updates. So, for if you want to enable or disable your firewall, there's two ways to get into it. The simpler one is pressing the Windows key or the search bar and typing fire or firewall. It will automatically pop up, and press Windows Defender Firewall. Now you see this screen. Now, another way is getting here through the control panel. Now, if you're familiar with the control panel, you know that it houses a lot of different options for Windows. So, to access that, press the Windows key, type control panel. It should automatically pop up. Once you click that, you click System and Security, and here it is, Windows Defender Firewall. Now, in this window, it's showing up as green for my public and private networks. So that means it's up and running. But it also says like what you're connected to, etc. So there's two types of networks that you see here, and you can enable and disable the firewall independently for each. So first is a private network. That is if you have like a private network or VPN, if you have your own VPN, that could also be considered as a private network. Your guest or public networks is your home network, your provider, for example, the Spectrum provider, that is considered a public network. Now, say I want to disable it to install something or configure something. To do that, there's these options on the left side of my screen. Now let's click Turn Windows Defender Firewall on or off. Now you'll see this window. It's pretty straightforward. You can turn it on, turn it off, but there's also two options. One notifies you when it blocks an app. Like, say, if it finds something suspicious in one of your apps, it's going to notify you. And the second one is it blocks every app, like completely every app. That is if you need a super secure server, which everyone most likely will not need. So say I want to turn off my firewall. I can click just turn off, okay, and here. It gives me a notification, and it shows up as turned off. Now, I wouldn't ever recommend keeping your firewall turned off for prolonged amounts of time, especially if you use your computer, because it makes it way easier to hack into your computer, and it's just common practice to keep it always turned on, or as much as possible. Now, if we turn it back on, now say I have an app, say if I installed Spotify, and it doesn't let it function because of my firewall. I can click Allow an app or feature through the Windows Defender Firewall, and it gives me a list. And it gives me public and private network. As I explained before, I can enable and disable an app to pass through the firewall for both of these networks independently. For example, I have DaVinci Resolve. I can enable it for my private network, but disable it for my public. Pretty easy, pretty simple. And I can add an app if it's not here. Now, this was pretty simple, pretty easy. The firewall is not that hard to tinker with. Just don't keep it disabled or don't click any settings that you don't know of. Now, if I want to update my system, say I have an old version, there's a better patch, it's also pretty easy. There's also two ways of getting to that screen. One, you could press the Windows key and type update, and it gives you an option check for updates. You can click that. Or you could click this. there's this icon at the bottom right of your screen, usually near the clock, like arrows. You click that, automatically opens this window. Now here it gives you like options to update your computer. For example, right now I have 2 updates pending. I do need to update that, but I could just click restart or a schedule restart, for example, if I'm not here, and it's going to do it automatically. Now there's multiple options here. Uh, this one, it basically, you get the newest updates, which isn't always the best, but it's going to give you like the latest updates. You can pause all updates for up to 5 weeks. You can view your update history, and there's a Windows Insider program and advanced options. For example, I can it can restart as soon as possible. Basically, just update it completely as soon as possible. Download updates over metered connections, basically over special connections, which may cost money. And active hours. Now, if you want to set up automatic updating, active hours is going to be very important because right now my active hours are from 7 a.m. to 12 a.m. That means it will update between that time, like during the inactive hours. It's gonna, if my computer's running, it will automatically update the system for me. Now there's optional updates, delivery optimizations, basically Wi-Fi, and recovery. Say you uh, mess something up on your computer, like you corrupted it or something, you could try reverting to an earlier state. For example, like a previous version of your Windows system, or if you don't like the update. In some cases, it could work. And that's pretty much it for Windows updates. It's also pretty simple, straightforward, and not a lot of things to cover. Now, there's get help, feedback, and if you also need to update your Windows, it will also show up here in Windows Update, or you can just type in update. There's also different options like update history, but they're all pretty much the same. There's a lot of here. Active hours, etc., etc. Count picture, but we don't need that for now. Windows Update. Pretty straightforward. Just click restart now or update, it'll do it for you. Now this would be it for the video, but if you want to see more for Linux server hardening or other operating systems like different distributions of Linux, feel free to let me know in the comments. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe if you want. That would be much appreciated. But I'm gonna post more of these server hardening and system securing videos. So if you have any feedback or suggestions, also feel free to comment. I will gladly reply and read to them. But on that note, have a great day, and that's it.